All right, to get a roof takeoff, first you're going to make sure you've added the page to your view. So if you have to click that plus sign at the top and bring in your roof plans, do that first, and then set the scale down here by looking at what the architect wrote in there. Okay, so say you got your thing ready here. We next need to look at, you can either do it in the software or just pull up a PDF of the house, but look at the elevations, because the first thing you need to see is any overlap of eaves. The software is going to measure looking down all of this, but what it's not going to see is this overlap of this eave over more shingles. So it's only going to count us for some of those shingles. So make sure you understand kind of anywhere that the eaves are overlapping. I think this is over the garage here. Where'd it go? So no overlap there, and then there's that same overlap there. So I think the only overlap is going to be this eave right here all the way across. So make sure you know that. And then we're going to do auto measure just for the gross external area ones. So make sure it says for this page only, by the way. And then let's kind of mute one of these or one or the other to make it make more sense, whichever one looks more accurate to you. So you click the eyeball and it'll block the purple, so all you see is orange. But if you want to see orange, unblock, or if you want to see purple, unblock purple and then block orange. And you see it's got some more. It kind of got confused with the markings of the architect. It thought that was part of it, so we're not going to use purple, so block that. In fact, you could even right click it and delete it, and then just use this orange one and make sure you unblock it so that you can see it. So the software is telling us that the footprint of the roof overall is 1872, which is good until you realize that there's that strip right there that overlaps more roof. Now we know from this measurement 1 foot 4 inches that it overhangs 16 inches. So I mean, in a perfect world you would tell the software like each plane of roof and it would calculate slope and blah blah blah. It doesn't do that. So probably the easiest point here is to just take the full-on footprint of the house and just let it tell you 1872, and then add in any strips that you see, which with our builds there's not going to be that many, but any strips where you know that there's 2 layers of shingles represented by 1 linear dimension of the map here. So we know that this strip here all the way across is above more shingles, so we just need to calculate that. So we can just use a spreadsheet here, we might as well. And just to add in that little bit there. Now if you want to, you could just open up the plans and go to the floor plan, look at the dimension of the house from here to here, and then add on the eave of 16 inches on each end. But that's no fun, so we're going to measure it with the software. That blue box will kind of select the edge of the house for you. I don't know if you can see it, but it's blue. And we're going to go click, and then it should kind of automatically select this other wall here. It's kind of not doing that though. Yeah, it's like going, there we go. Well, is that crooked though? Heavens. Well, if I'm dealing with it, you're going to be dealing with it. So full disclosure, I don't know how to send this into the measurements over here. Like I double click, tried things didn't work. So what we're going to do is click this mouse button, the select button up here to kind of reset, and then try it again. And this time just take the number of whatever it says it is. So I'm bringing my mouse over here. It's saying it's 46 inches and 8 feet. So let's click out. So we know it's 46 inches and 8 feet is 0.66. Or 8 inches is 0.66. So that's what we got to add on to the footprint here. So now from the other videos you may remember, but we'll just review. You're going to want to select both of these buttons up here so they're both blue. And then just click on that measurement number there, and that'll pop into the spreadsheet, right? So now let's add those two together, and this is just regular Excel stuff. So you can click on that and then do your plus sign on your keyboard, then click on that. You can press enter and it'll automatically show that we've got a footprint of shingles of 1918. But that doesn't account for slope, right? So I did some math the other day. The Pythagorean theorem will tell you a formula, and so I figured out that it's 11.8% more. So we're just going to round that to 12%. So we're going to take this times 1.12, and that's going to be your actual footage of shingles, pretty much down to the square inch, really. So if you want to know how many squares that is, you can't use that. If you want to know how many squares that is, do equals, click that box, and then divide by 100, because there's 100 square feet in each square. And that's how many square that we would get as a quote from a roofer, because he's going to bid based on the job, not the overages. Speaking of overages, we do need to factor that in if we're the ones ordering materials. I keep using the keyboard, and that's why it does that. You have to click. So we're going to add on, we're going to do 1.1 to add on one full amount plus another 10%. And this is, and we'll do that same formula again for C equals that divided by 100 for squares. So we're going to order this many squares of shingles for the house. And if I haven't insulted your intelligence yet, it's about to get worse. If you want to calculate how many bundles to order, take that number of square. No, I think the bundles, it'd be better to do it this way. I think the bundles keep track of square feet. It'll say like 86 square feet in a bundle. So you would make equals that, take that number, divide by 86 square feet, and that's the number of bundles you order, and always round up to the nearest bundle, so 28. So okay, insulting intelligence time over. If you really want to go in depth, you could probably stop the video here, but maybe you need some other things like ridge vents or something. So probably the easiest way to do that is, again, with this software, you can just go to this line here, select the line, and then we're going to just start grabbing where ridge vents might go. And this is just an example. I don't know where they actually would go, but there's a ridge there. And I found out that you can right click, so you can make that line of 27 and some change feet, make the second line, and then just right click anywhere and say finish. So we've got a measurement now there of 27 feet, and that showed up in our polyline over here. And let's grab, I think this is a ridge here, right? It's sloping down. Surely it's not a valley. That'd be a weird place for a valley. 28 feet exactly. So we're going to click the second time over there, and then when it starts to offer us this third click, then we're going to right click and do finish. And then suppose we do a ridge vent here too. Probably not necessary over the garage, but I don't know. We're just kind of making an example here. And then right click and finish. So we got our 3 polylines over here. And again, if we want to make sure these 2 blue lines are selected, we're just going to go boom. Oh no, okay. Hang on. Zoom back out. I guess you have to click on the map to get those measurements. So we click here, and then we're going to grab that number, and then just keep clicking that number and that number. And if you can see up in the right hand here, it's adding together these linear measurements. And if you just press enter, I guess you don't need to press enter. So it automatically added them together. So that's 72 linear feet of ridge vent. If you needed starter strip, which now we're really getting into the weeds, but you do the same thing. You take those measurements along the edges like that, and then save them all. And then you can have your full takeoff. Now make sure you save all this in here. When you exit, I think it saves automatically. Like you could close the browser right now and all this data would still be in here, but yeah, that's really all there is to it.